Yes, we finally made it. We came back from the absolute failure from the previous episode that I highly recommend you to watch. And we start all over the project, and even we came with a much more ambitious idea that we implemented here, and everything worked so fine, so good that I am very proud to introduce you to the Shibuya Intersection in the downtown area that we have prepared for you in this episode. And we have some very ambitious project like this transit hub that will serve for train and metro, and it's gonna be totally customized. So I highly recommend you to watch the whole video, and then you could give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, but you should maybe subscribe to the channel. And if you see anything that we can change or fix, always your comments will be very welcome to be placed in the comment section down below. I'm not gonna take more time. I'm gonna leave you with the time lapse. So see you a little bit later. All right, everyone, here we are building what is going to end up being the most important part. And I think that is the savior of this project. That is this metro and train transit hub that is connecting people from the downtown area with this new area. And they can come just by the metro or the train. They don't have to drive. The thing that I think that made me fail in the previous episode was that everybody had to drive to come here through the interchange or maybe with the connection in between downtown areas. But everybody was wanting to drive to this area, and this overcrowd the main avenue that was the one that had the Shibuya intersection, and the Shibuya intersection in that episode wasn't working very fine. That was the thing that I think that killed this previous episode. But now with this transit hub and the Shibuya intersection working fine, we have the streets very relieved from traffic. I think that the most iconic thing that this transit hub has is the fact that it's like in two levels. The lower level is where the train stop is, and the higher level is where the metro stop is. And they cross one on top of the other. And both of them are going to be underground. You're not going to be able to see it when you are in the streets. So that's very interesting. That's why I'm very happy with this experiment. And I know that a lot of YouTubers have came with more creative ideas or more beautiful, and they have been doing that like for a long time ago. But yeah, it's my first time. What could you expect from the first time that someone does something like this? And I'm very happy with that. So give me some love, and yeah, help me being more creative with the game, because that's what I am trying to do here. Now is the part when you can see everything making sense. You can see how the intersection and the transit hub start merging with each other. And later on, you're going to see how all the buildings that we're going to be placing in this area are going to start working together. The most important part and the hardest thing that I had to figure out is that I wanted to have a lot of movement in this area, but in the middle of this intersection that is in top of the transit hub, I will be placing a lot of procedural objects that are not going to have any function. And I don't like the thing that you see when you have like the service block or the block of commercial, residential, and stuff like that, that you will see people walking into it and then falling down to the ground floor. And if I have like a camera angle where I'm gonna be just seeing the transit hub. I will be seeing people falling from the sky and getting to the transit hub and stopping there and doing nothing. And I don't want to see that. That's why I'm gonna stick on to put just procedural objects that will be useless building for the game mechanics, just for the purpose of decoration. Why I'm not gonna be placing normal buildings that will be providing normal functionality to the game? Because they has this foundation that tend to extend all the way to underground, and if you place it on top of the transit hub, which is underground, it could be like on top of the railway or on top of the train line or anything like that. And I don't want to see that. Even in some places, I decided to play with that because the buildings were like in the correct place where they belong, and I didn't want it to ruin that. But I tried to sort that in order that I could have some views of the transit hub without anything cutting the way for the people to walk and stuff like that. I'm gonna be playing with that a lot, but I'm gonna be doing that off cameras because this build took me a lot of time and I couldn't feature all of that in this single episode. And I wanna finish this area in this episode. That's why I'm gonna be cutting all these corrections and all the stuff that I had to do to make this work as you are seeing in the cinematics. From this moment on, everything was just a bunch of the same, just making a little tweaks to some of the mechanics, like adding some paths when you go out from the transit hub, so you can get through these open areas to different parts of the city, and a bunch of placing buildings, placing procedural objects on top of the transit hub, and a lot of buildings that I decided to place them as they came from the workshop because I need to drag movement to the area. And some of them were not realistic when talking about the amount of workplaces or houses that they can have. And I decided to change, but not all of them, because this small apartment that you can see in the first cinematics that we had, they are a bunch because they are very small, but they are tall and they should have a lot of household. But I decided to leave them like they are. They can hold only like 12 or 8, even 6 household. In a realistic matter, they should have like 40, 50 household. But I decided to leave them like that because I don't want it to drag a lot of traffic to this area. I just being sincere in here. I use some of the mechanics for some parts, but some of them I left them like they are. And at the end, I decided to leave a little gap of time to some beautification for the main avenue. I just placed some planters, some trees. I decided to put in there because they make the sun to feel more beautiful, and I want this part to be a little bit different, like paying a little bit more attention to the beautification and stuff like that. And that's what it is, this area. And now that we are at the final part of the episode, you can decide if you like or dislike the video by hitting the thumbs up or thumbs down, and maybe giving me your thoughts in the comment section, or maybe some love. You can put anything in there. I'm gonna be very happy about that. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, because we're gonna keep putting here a lot of City Skylines 1 content. And when the game drops and we're gonna have time to play it, we're gonna start placing City Skylines 2 as well in here. So we're gonna leave this until here, and I'm gonna see you next week with some more content. See you later. Bye bye.